We'll go ahead and read it. Marfan syndrome is a genetic disorder that affects connective tissue, often resulting in tall stature, long limbs, and heart issues. It's caused by a dominant allele, capital M. The normal allele is recessive, little m. Alright, so we kind of know what they're talking about here, but let's keep going. A man with Marfan syndrome is heterozygous, one big M, one little m, while his partner is unaffected, two little m's. But the key to starting these problems is finding out what the parents look like, and we know that they have these letters for one parent, these letters for the other parent. Okay, and let's keep going. What is the probability that one of their children will have Marfan syndrome? Well, like we said, we know this is one parent, this is the other one. Let's go ahead and draw our square to start. Draw a line down the middle, a line across, and we'll put the first parent across the top. So split up the letters, one big M, one little m. The other parent, we'll put them on the left side, two little m's there. And you know what to do. Let's go ahead and combine these. One big, one little m, add that in. Same thing underneath, one big, one little, so one of each. On the top right, we've got a little m and a little m, two little m's there. And same with the last one, little and a little, two lowercase m's. Finally, we just want to know, what does the capital letter represent? Because if they have a capital letter, they have that trait. And up top, they say Marfan syndrome. It's caused by a dominant allele or capital M. So if they have a capital M, they do have Marfan syndrome. So 1, 2, let's highlight these two kids. They definitely do have Marfan syndrome. And that's 2 out of these 4 kids, or 2 quarters, 50 cents. Therefore, 50% will have Marfan syndrome. But we know that the other 2 did not have it because their parent was unaffected when they had 2 little m's. So therefore, these 2 kids will also be unaffected as well. But not every problem splits up 50-50, so let's look at another example. For tomatoes, a round shape is dominant to an oval shape. Well, once you see dominant, let's come up with a letter to signify this. Now, a round shape, we could just use R for round and make it capital since it's the dominant trait. But it's dominant to an oval shape, so this is the alternative. But instead of using an O, we're always going to use a lowercase letter that we've already used before. So we'll use little r to indicate oval. Then we have a heterozygous round tomato plant is crossed with a homozygous dominant round tomato plant. Now, these terms are going to be really important. Let's highlight these. Heterozygous and homozygous. Let's go ahead and copy these and talk about them. Heterozygous means you're going to have different letters. Therefore, one capital, one lowercase letter. That always means heterozygous, one of each. But homozygous is when you have the same, 2 capitals or 2 lowercase ones. We know for sure one parent is heterozygous, so one big R, one little r. But what about the other parent? Is it 2 big R's or 2 little r's? How do we know? Well, they say that it's homozygous dominant. And we know dominant means capital, so therefore, 2 of the same letter that are both capital, that'll be homozygous dominant. So this is the other parent. And it'll be homozygous recessive if you have 2 lowercase letters there. But we know what both of the parents look like. Let's go ahead and draw our square. Line down the middle, line across. The first parent, heterozygous, one of each, we'll put that across the top and just split up the letters there. The next parent, homozygous dominant, 2 capital R's, we'll split those up along the left side there. And feel free to pause and keep going here. We know we're going to combine big R, put that top left. Underneath it, same thing, big R, 2 big ones. Top right, one little, one big, put the big one first. And on the bottom right, same thing as well, one little r, one big R, just like that. But this is interesting because this time they all have a capital letter involved, so they're all going to have that dominant trait. The question is, what is the probability that the offspring will have round-shaped tomatoes? But round shape, it's a dominant trait, So if they have a capital R, they're definitely round. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 out of 4 of them will have a round shape. Therefore, 100% of the offspring will be round-shaped tomatoes here. They would only be oval-shaped if they had 2 of these little letters, 2 little r's. Then they would have that recessive trait. But the key was this parent here having 2 big R's made all of the kids have at least 1 big R, therefore made them all have that dominant trait of being round. So as you can see, you can get all kinds of different percentages here, anywhere from 0 to 100. But the key was knowing these 2 terms helped us find out what the parents look like. So if you want to pause and take some notes here, here's one way to remember them. Think about heterozygous, you could think of heterosexual. That's somebody who prefers the different sex than their own. So it's going to have different letters. You could think of 1 woman, 1 man, and that's that. But homozygous, homosexual, they prefer the same sex. So 2 women, 2 men, they're either going to be both capital, both lowercase. So that's one way that you could remember the difference there. All right, well, let's practice with one last one. Sometimes you can inherit a trait through recessive or lowercase letters, so let's look at one like that. Sickle cell disease is inherited through a recessive allele. A person with 2 recessive alleles has the disease. Now, just think of allele as letter, and recessive means lowercase. So if they have 2 lowercase letters, then they're going to have sickle cell disease. What should we use to represent it? Well, sickle starts with S. Let's use 2 lowercase s's to indicate that they have that disease. Now, if both the mother and the father are heterozygous carriers, then what is the chance their child will have sickle cell disease? Well, both the mother and the father are heterozygous. So looking back, we know that they're going to have different letters, 1 of each here. So let's use 1 capital S, 1 lowercase s if they're heterozygous. And finally, what is the chance the child will have sickle cell disease? Well, we know what to do. Both of the parents are this, 1 big, 1 little. Let's go ahead and draw our Punnett square. Split up one of the parents across the top, 1 along the side. Both are heterozygous. Next, let's go ahead and find the children. Big S, or 2 big S's here. Underneath, 1 big, 1 little, 1 of each. Top right, we've got 1 big, 1 little again. We'll add that in. Bottom right, we've got 1 little, or 2 little S's. But that's what's interesting about sickle cell disease. It's inherited through recessive or lowercase letters. And you have to have 2 lowercase letters to have the disease. So only one of these 4 kids does, and that's 1 out of 4. So we're all done with this problem here. So once you get used to these terms, recessive, dominant, heterozygous, homozygous, you can go in with much more confidence in how to set these up. And here are 4 practice problems on my website to practice problems just like these ones and gain confidence. And here's a video on the GED Science Test to practice all types of problems. Let me know what questions you have, what else you want me to cover. Good luck, you got these. We'll see you in the next video. Toodles.